Okay, so business tech in South Africa says bad news for South African business with over 50 employees. Wait, business tech, what do you guys mean that there's bad news to South Africa's uh, 50 business with over 50 employees? What is happening? Well, see this. So it says bad news for South Africa business with over 50 employees. So experts from Bowsman have broken down what the new employment equity, the EE regulations, mean for employers in South Africa, with deadlines fast approaching across the country. Okay, let's dive inside. So it says earlier this month, the Department of Employment and Labour gazetted the Employment Equity Regulations, which sets out the regulations for specific racial and gender-based numerical targets. Okay, the regulations set out the specific racial and gender-based numerical targets for businesses across 18 industries in South Africa to achieve by 2030. Okay, it forms part of the South African government's affirmative actions goals, where it wants South Africans to reflect the racial and gender demographics of the country. Okay, now let's dive inside more. So the department said that the targets have been implemented to ensure equitable representation of suitably qualified people from designated groups at all occupational levels in the workforce. These targets will apply to designated employers which employ more than 50 people. Okay, so Talata, Malisa, and Lobos from Bauman said that the key steps for designated employees are what they do next. Okay, the legal aspect broke down the timeline and steps designated employees should take to ensure compliance with their affirmative action obligations under the EE regulations. Okay, now designated employees are required to collect information relating to their employment policies, practices, procedures, and working environment to identify potential barriers that diversely affect designated groups. The analysis must include a workplace profile to determine the underrepresentation of people from designated groups across various occupational levels in the workplace. Although employers may have previously undertaken the analysis, all designated employees will now need to implement a new plan using the updated prescribed forms in the General Administrative EE regulations. Designated employers must pick a date as soon as the cut-off date, which will take a snapshot of their workforce for its profile. The experts said the date should be determined by working back from 1st September 2025, factoring in sufficient time to consult and prepare the EE plan. Prepare a new EE plan before 1st September 2025. Wow. This is confusion though. So if you are an employer who is actually having 50 plus more people, the best thing to do is actually visit the EE regulating office and get to know more details about this. Or you can just check out our business tech news and just go to find out the more to this information. But I'm actually here to actually get you guys to know that there's something huge happening, and then you guys have a timeline though. By 2030, you should be able to be part of this, or to be part of the cutoff point. Okay, so there's something serious happening, and the South African government is actually planning to say that they're actually doing this to tackle the race-based inequalities in the workplaces, and also the so-called working to make sure that there's a race-based. It's all about racial issues. Okay, but hey, just actually dive inside more to get to know what is happening. If you are having or have a company that employs more than 50 people, this is for you. You need to visit the EE regulatory office for more details about this. Okay, I'm actually here to show you guys what is happening in South Africa recently. Now, see this. This one says, just great when new laws are made up to let lazy ass parasites carry on leeching, isn't it? This nonsense should really get the country prospering, of course, not despicable and pathetic bunch of nopsists. Bro, calm down, bro. What are these, man? Well, again, this one says bad news for employees. You mean this ain't going to fly? Mass non-compliance coming up. Okay, okay. So some people are saying that this is going to be a mass non-compliance coming up because people are not actually going to do this. Again, this one says it's time to stop complying with immoral laws. Do not comply. Wow, seems like South Africans are boycotting this law, though. Well, this says bad news for South Africa. Make no mistake, just another ANC measure that will get them in the history books as the most racist government in the history of world. Okay? Now, that is how some South Africans are actually talking about, and how they are actually sharing their points and views concerning this whole issue. And they are saying that they are not actually happy what is happening, and then how they see this. But best things you need to do is you need to check about the sites of the EE regulation office to get to know what is happening and get to find out more details about it. I'm actually here to tell you guys this is what is happening in South Africa, and then there's a new law in town concerning businesses and business or employees or employers who are having more than 50 employees. You need to actually get to know these things and these facts, okay? The name is Vashi, this is African Time, and I was actually here to let you guys know what is happening, the new law that is in for employers who are having more than 50 people in your various companies. About 80 industries though. You guys need to check out more about this whole issue, okay? Don't forget, you can check out our Business Insider or Business Tech page, or you can actually visit any offices concerning this issue to get to know more about this, okay? Thank you for your time.